Hello, I'm Brian Wilford, Member of Parliament for Richmond Hill, and this is Pasargad. From time to time, Members of Parliament have to deal with issues outside of the borders of Canada when we're talking about either Canadian citizens or individuals who reside in Canada and are permanent residents. Over the last month, I have been dealing with a case involving Saeed Malikpour, who is a member of the community in Richmond Hill. Unfortunately, Mr. Malikpour had gone back to Iran 2 years ago to visit his dying father. After only 3 days there, he was arrested by Iranian authorities. For the last 2 years, his wife has been silent on this issue based on the fact that the Iranian authorities said, "Keep quiet, everything will work out." Recently, she brought this issue to my attention, and I have done two things as Member of Parliament for Richmond Hill. The first was to write a letter to the acting Iranian Chargé d'Affaires in Ottawa, requesting a meeting and requesting that Mr. Malikpour be removed from Iran back to Canada. I had the meeting with the Chargé in his office, and subsequently we've had another meeting in my office with regard to the situation. Mr. Malikpour was charged with crimes which the Iranian government said were contrary to the social norms of Iranian society. It had to do with the commandeering of a website without his knowledge, and the evidence itself was never presented in an Iranian court. I then followed up with a phone call to the acting chargé, indicating very strongly that we want Mr. Malikpour either declared persona non grata, whatever the circumstance, to be moved back to Canada safely. The new chargé, and the chargé is actually the number 2 person in the Iranian embassy, because neither Canada nor Iran have ambassadors given the diplomatic situation between our two countries. Mr. Malikpour is a victim of false evidence from everything that I have seen, and we have seen the documents in Persian, and I've had them translated. And clearly the chargé, the information that I've indicated to him is that this gentleman must be returned. He's a professional, he's an engineer. He clearly would not have done something that would have violated Iranian law. And what is most important, of course, is that the Iranians would like to see better relations with Canada. Well, I've made it very clear that there can be no improvement of any relations as long as these kinds of situations endure. I also wrote the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Cannon, with regard to the situation. Even though Mr. Malikpour is not a Canadian citizen, and even if he was, he would not be recognized by the Iranian authorities as a Canadian, I asked for assistance from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Minister of Foreign Affairs wrote me back a letter which unfortunately I would consider to be a fairly standard letter concerning Iranian human rights abuses in Iran. I have raised this issue in question period with the Minister, and again, no real satisfactory answer. The issue really comes down to the fact that when people travel abroad and they're going back to a country where they were born, some of those countries do not recognize the citizenship of the individual, in this case being a Canadian. Now, although Mr. Malikpour is not a citizen, he is a landed immigrant, and as from my perspective, he deserves the same treatment as anyone else in terms of me trying to get him home. The Canadian embassy in Tehran cannot intervene, again, because he's not a citizen. I will continue to push this issue as Member of Parliament, and I expect to have a meeting with the new Chargé d'Affaires in the near future. Parliament has now wound down for the Christmas break, and during the last week I had an opportunity to talk on issues ranging from white-collar crime to meeting with both the Danish and Icelandic ambassador on the issue of Arctic sovereignty. As Vice Chair of the Defence Committee, we put forward a detailed report on how the Canadian government can assert better our sovereignty issues in the north, as well as dealing with climate change issues and habitat issues. I want to wish you and yours the best of the holiday season. Merry Christmas, and I look forward to speaking to you in the near future. Again, this is Brian Wilford. Have a good day.